3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
So professional.
Good clap. I still have my hood, my beanie on. Oh, I guess it's gonna be a beanie show.
It's a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Now this fan I hear is kind of loud. But we are at 5 Iron Golf in River North, my neighborhood. Shout out to Jared and Tim and who did we just meet?
Was that Devin?
Devin, yep, for taking care of us here and setting us up. Pretty excited to be here and to be back, William. It's been a while.
It's very exciting. It's not only is it our first show back after a while, but doing a in-person, on-location show.
Right. Right.
It's really throwing ourselves into the deep end and making quite the commitment. So who knows? We'll see where this takes us.
I don't have much golf. I did play a round of golf with our pal intern Grant, so I can talk about that. But I'm really just wanting to talk about where I've been and what I've seen.
I can only imagine.
And I'm going to do this. I will try not to sound like a braggy douche when I do it.
I don't think. Yeah, it's exactly how it's going to come.
But
across.
it's almost impossible.
To the point where I'm like, maybe you don't want to do it.
First, cheers.
Cheers.
It's good to see you. It's good to be back together.
Yes. And then you're gone, what, in 24 days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back to another island for another week.
Joining us, but hey, go down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, all that stuff. If you're listening to the podcast, hopefully the fan isn't too bad. It should be okay. Tell a friend, rate, review, do all those things, and I guess while we're at it too, don't forget to check out some Bridgestone golf balls. Now is a good time to stock up.
Yep.
Off season, get a nice fresh supply before next year, and the deals will probably start coming out soon. The deals,
I would imagine.
We have some pretty big news as well. We have a new Roback code.
Yes, we do.
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes, we do.
If you go to roback.com and use the code Range Heroes, remember, heroes is spelled Heroes. Don't forget that E at the end.
Yep.
Range Heroes 15 at checkout, 50% off the entire thing on your first order. And I'm going to throw this out there. They just announced today, as we're recording,
I saw the
some
email.
new fleeces.
Yes.
And I want at least one of them, but there's a good chance I get two.
They're pretty dope.
I can't decide if I want the patterned one or the green one.
Yeah. The patterned one is sick.
I said to my wife, if you're going to get one of these, how do you not get the patterned one?
Right.
So go to roback.com, use the code RangeHeroes15, 50% off your entire first order.
That's right. Okay, now I need to talk to you about. You commented on my shirt.
Yes.
It's a Postal Service Death Cab for Cutie shirt. We saw them in Santa Barbara at the beginning of our trip. I'll just talk about the venue first.
Yeah.
Incredible. 5,000 person outdoor venue. Built into kind of the side of the hill, just tremendous sound. Acoustics were great. The crowd was really fun. And we saw, obviously, Ben Gibbard fronts both bands. They were
For those not looking, it's a Postal Service.
Right.
And Death Cab for Cutie. 20th anniversary of the Postal Service album and Death Cab's Transatlanticism.
Right. And so they were playing both in their entirety, right?
Yep.
Front to back. I have never heard a tighter band.
Than Death Cab?
Never. I mean, it was, at a certain point, I was wondering if there was a click track.
It might be.
I mean, that's how, on point from nothing was faster or, some of the slower stuff was, a little more dramatic maybe, but, God, they didn't miss a note.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a beat. Like, it was such a great show. I loved it so much. Zell loved it.
Not to go deep, nerd, for
yeah.
people who probably don't care about either one of these bands. I thought when Chris Walla left that band, it was like, that's a big change and a big hole. And I read an interview recently where he explained kind of why and his feelings on the songs, or the thongs, the songs. And I was like, I totally understand where he's coming from. And I'm going to say it. I don't think new Death Cab is anywhere near as good as the old stuff, but that's okay.
Right.
And he had some comments on it, and so I understood. I'm like, yeah, I get why you would leave a band in that situation. But Dave Pepper, the new guitar player, and I can't think of the other guy's name now. The
piano player,
keys / third guitar player.
Yeah.
Follow him on Instagram.
He also plays. Oh no, the guitarist and the bass player swap sometimes too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dave Pepper was also playing a lot of keys and providing vocals for Postal Service.
Yes.
But anyway, point being, those guys, musically speaking, musicianship, were tremendous additions to that band.
Yeah.
So
I was just blown away by how good, and of course, and it was really interesting too because it seemed like, so they did the Death Cab album first in all black. They went away for 15 minutes. Everyone caught their breath a little bit, got a beer, got something to eat, whatever. Came back on all in white.
Yeah.
As Postal Service. And like Postal Service is a lot of beep boops and things, right? Like, but they
quite literally.
Yeah, but they brought the exact lineup from the record from a vocal perspective, like the girls that sang on that record. Like the one girl came out for one song.
Yeah. Who was the other one? Not Jenny Lewis, because Jenny
Lewis was the one that was.
But she was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And frankly, the biggest appeal of I should really go see Postal Service was for Jenny Lewis. Like what a legend.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was, it seemed like the crowd was there for Postal Service.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
People love that album, and it's a more upbeat and poppy record.
And I think Death Cab's toured nonstop since Transatlanticism.
Yeah.
Postal Service is not. They've done it two tours.
There was really something to be said about seeing that record front to back live. It was awesome.
I have to say this about that after I've watched so many of the videos on YouTube over the time. If you are not a fan of those bands, that could be a rough show. I was thinking about how you and I were like, we got to go together.
Yeah.
That is a quintessential nerd music
for sure
show.
For sure.
If you're not into those bands,
but I mean,
it's weird and can get snoozy pretty quick.
I think, but I think Give Up. I think the Postal Service record is much more accessible to the common music fan.
I agree. I still think you have to be a certain kind of nerd. And it's okay. I'm obviously very much that
Zell's
nerd,
not a music nerd, and she loves that record.
but she loves that record.
Right.
If you were just like, yeah, sure, I'll go to the show, I could see like, all right.
Oh, if you're going cold.
I've had enough.
Yeah, right.
Ben Gibbard is awkward and dorky as hell on stage. Oh, my God.
It's so funny. Zell pointed that out, too. Like, he dances the same way no matter what beat the song, BPM the song is at. It doesn't matter. He's still doing the exact same. It's so. Zell really loved this shirt.
So good. For those watching at home.
There you go.
If you're listening, It is a Death Cab for Cutie shirt with the Transatlanticism crow on it.
And a nice blue T-shirt.
With my beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So good. Oh, my God. Go home and wash it so I can wear it. My skin can't handle fresh dye.
Right. All right, so that was the concert. And
Awesome.
Now I'll jump to, and that was in L.A. We hung out in L.A. for a little bit.
Remind me when we're done with this.
Yeah.
Because you brought up posters to show you this Smashing Pumpkins poster that they're putting out.
Okay.
Not important to anybody else watching the show, but just so we don't forget.
Right. Yeah. All right, so we leave L.A. and we fly to Tahiti. That's an 8-hour flight. Pretty uneventful. Pretty quiet 8-hour flight. We sat. We got the very last 2 seats in the last row of the plane, which is great, which meant no one behind us, so we could lay all the way back and not have to be worried about anything. Bathroom wasn't near us, whatever, so we got a pretty good sleep in on the way there. Got to Tahiti. We were going to stay there 2 nights in Tahiti. The next day, so we get in, we get our sleep. Zell went to bed at 5 p.m., woke up at 7 a.m., so she was just a little little jet lag. But then we went and swam with some sea turtles. So that was our second trip. Like, we did that in Hawaii. Went this time with a Frenchman. Very I didn't realize it was French Polynesian. So everyone there speaks French. Yep. But it was my first black sand beach in Tahiti as well. I'd never seen that before. But it was great to swim with the sea turtles. I also, on the way back from snorkeling, that was the first time too that we were in the dock, right, where all the boats are. And you could see the bottom of you could see through the water in the dock. Like, I've never experienced that before. Usually it's like oily and gassy and like dirty water. But like, this was clear as could be. You could see fish swimming around. It was super cool. But after the sea turtles, climbing back into the boat, I did fall off the boat ladder because I'm a sailor and I'm an athlete. But I gave myself I'll have a nice little trip treasure scar on my leg from that thing because I wasn't about to go to an ER in Tahiti.
It was that significant.
It was pretty good.
Nice.
It was pretty good. The good news was when we got back to the dock, it's all surfers and scuba divers and stuff running these little shops, and they had all the stuff that you would need. They sprayed it up, threw a bandage on it, and it eventually
they do it on the reefs all the time.
Right. Well, they asked how did you get this? And I wanted to be like, oh, I came up on a coral or like a stingray got me, but no, I fell off a ladder climbing into a boat.
Yeah.
Like a jackass.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So that was Tahiti. It was really great. There was a dog on the resort, and there was a cat on the resort. There are also roosters everywhere, always doing rooster stuff. So just nonstop throughout the day. Just caw-caw-caw-cawing all damn day.
I think it's cock-a-doodle-doodle.
Whatever. It was so loud.
Cawing's a crow.
I was thinking of Arrested Development when they go caw-caw-caw-caw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Tahiti was super cool. And then the main event, off to Bora Bora, which is a 45-minute flight.
This is coming off exactly how you were concerned about, just so you know.
So we go to Bora Bora, on the over the thing after ridiculous thing. Like, it was just so. They had these coral gardens all over the resort where they could have fish swimming around and stuff. And then, the water is only a couple feet deep, and then it drops off into the ocean,
right? Which
is how they build the bungalows. But you could just snorkel around the whole resort for the most part. And so we did that a lot through those coral gardens. And you saw the little Nemos and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then I took the drone. So I've got some good drone stuff too. But at one point, we realized there was a full-grown stingray, resident, swimming around. You can see him from the drone shots. You can see him in the water hanging out. At one point, he swam underneath our bungalow. We watched him swim underneath the bungalow. At night, there was a little shark that we also spotted swimming around the underneath the dock and everything.
Some good.
And yeah, right. And then the coolest thing of the room was at the end of the bed there was a lid that you could open, and you could drop food into the water. You could drop bread to the fish from inside your bungalow. And so every morning and every night, different fish, right? Because some fish are morning fish, some fish are night fish.
Right.
We would feed our fish right underneath our bungalow. And it was just the coolest thing and then, like, I forgot too, in Tahiti, we're coming back from the turtles, and from here to probably that wall, a whale breaches next to the boat.
What kind of whale?
Humpback.
Yeah. There's too much shit in the ocean.
Just saw a whale on accident, because this is the time of year they bring their babies. The mothers bring their babies into the warm water. Do you know that whales don't cross the equator?
No.
There's humpbacks in the southern hemisphere, humpbacks in the northern hemisphere, and they both do the same thing. They bring their children to warm water, give birth, and then feed them until they're ready to go back to where it's cold.
Okay.
The northern hemisphere never go into the southern hemisphere, and vice versa.
I didn't know that. I wonder why. Whales again.
Yeah.
I told you, I've seen enough. The internet has made us all too smart. I don't ever need to go in an ocean ever again in my life, and I'm okay with it. And anybody judge me, that's fine.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. But, so I sent Bill and Adam a picture, I think, right, of me kissing a stingray. So we went swimming in Bora Bora. We went swimming with stingrays and sharks, and then we went to this other huge coral reef, which was incredible. But the sharks and the stingray are like domesticated, basically.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well,
sure.
And they're debarbed. Like this.
You left that detail out.
The stingers they debarb the stingers. Now the barbs will grow back, but they maintain the stingers so that nobody gets.
Until his little friend who thinks he's cute comes strolling in and isn't debarbed and barbs you.
That's right. But there was Romeo and Juliet. There was two stingrays, and I got to hold Juliet. Like, I held her, and it was the softest. She was so soft. It was like velvet underneath her. It was amazing. And then, if you pulled her close, she came up and went. Oops.
This is our most relatable episode ever.
Yes. Yeah, and then and then at the same time there were sharks, not sharks as big as this table, not like sharks. Like sharks as big as this table.
Yeah, because
Yeah, and they were just kind of hanging out and swimming around. And then we went to another spot where there were more sharks, and we went in there. But yeah, it was just and then of course every morning you watch the sunrise from the deck of your bungalow. I mean, it's just it's the most ridiculous thing. I can't believe that I went there. I can't believe that place exists on this
That's
earth.
what gets me, that it exists.
And it's a natural phenomenon. It just formed that way.
And so they said, you know what we better do? Settle it and make it a tourist destination.
I mean, and they do a hell of a job. I'll tell you this too. We paid for our trip. This is not a promo. This was not comped. There's different hotels all over Bora Bora. I think there's 6 of them.
You say all over. Bora Bora as a whole is
small.
the size of this room.
We went around it on the boat after the stingray shark thing. We had lunch, and then we had lunch on this company's own island, which was awesome too. But then they took us around the whole place and showed us all the resorts. And so you've got the St. Regis, and you've got the Intercon, and you've got the Conrad, and you've got the Four Seasons, right? We didn't stay at any of those because that's ridiculous. Even more ridiculous. This trip was ridiculous. But if you're going to go and you want to not spend that money, Le Bora Bora was the resort we stayed at. You can get breakfast every morning included. We had breakfast delivered to us one morning on a canoe. That's an option, which is awesome.
I should not have let you talk about
But look,
this.
I'll just recommend, we're going to go back. We want to go back for a 50th birthday or something. So in a couple more years, we'll save up again. But Le Bora Bora, if anyone wants to go and check it out.
Sounds majestic.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. The whole thing was just
so dumb.
And it's one of those things, I think we've talked about this too before, where I'm this kid from Carpentersville. You grew up in Glen Ellen, and there's a weird uncomfortableness with earning this kind of thing. You still, I felt like an imposter the entire time I was there.
I'm not this person, right?
But yeah, this is not where I belong kind of thing.
You don't. But
but yeah, I mean, but I went.
But Zell can take you, so
right. As long as I'm next to Zell, they're like, oh yeah, that checks out. That makes sense. Yeah, but it was just the absolute trip of a lifetime. And now it's funny too because, we're going to the Dominican in a month. We're going to Punta Cana in a month with the kids, and I feel bad for Punta Cana now because we're going to get there and be like, this is nice, but now I have to be the guy that's like, well, it's not Bora Bora.
Yeah, and knowing you will be.
Right.
You will be.
No, I'm going to love it because the kids are going to get to experience all-inclusiveness for the first time, which is going to be really fun. Mm-hmm, like, when they get there, it's like, okay, whatever you want. $0.
I was going to respond with a relatable reply. I'm like, I better not put this in. So we're not going to. I can't have it recorded on the record.
Fair enough. So we can change topics now, but I had to tell you about it.
Well, I'm glad you're back, and I'm upset you're leaving so soon. Just 2023, we never really hit a groove.
We had a lot of things going on, man.
It was a year. It was a year.
Yeah. When I was talking to Zell about those things that were happening throughout the year. She's like, man, you guys really went through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Hey, but we're here.
But yeah, we're still doing stuff. We're still doing stuff. So, how was Halloween?
Halloween had stuff.
Yeah.
Only one kid was able to go out trick-or-treating. It went well. I don't know if you knew this, but we pretty much had a blizzard on Halloween. It was freezing cold.
I saw someone said that Chicago dressed up as winter for Halloween.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not great for the inflatables. The wind was real bad, so my 30-foot Frankenstein blew over into the house 6 times.
Oh my God.
So today, basically, the sun came out a little bit. There was enough wind. I got everything inflated, drying out. And the second it was dry, I was pulling it out. So all my Halloween decorations were taken down by 7 p.m.
Nice.
The day after.
Nice.
It was something. Now, so my daughter basically got sick, couldn't go trick-or-treating. And so the guy who I got the 30 Halloween tradition, stop by their house, give them my best, whatever.
Yeah.
Invite me and my son in for, him not for a drink, me for a drink, but to come in, get some candy, have a drink, and chit-chatting with them, and talk about how my daughter couldn't go. This woman, absolute just legend. And I texted them later, and I'm sure God knows what he thinks about me, but I'm like, people you don't deserve in your life.
Yeah.
She goes in the kitchen, comes out, and mind you, they invited us in. They're renovating the entire downstairs of their house, and there's scaffolding up in it,
Yeah.
And they still invite us in. She, so the wife goes into the kitchen, comes out with an assorted box of 28 full-size candy bars.
Come on.
Puts it in a bag and goes to my son, bring that home for your sister.
That's awesome.
So that's, the sweetest people in the world. Bring it home, give it to my daughter, and she just starts sobbing.
Oh.
This is so nice. So, Halloween could have been better, could have been worse, but we got through it. Halloween on a Tuesday is just...
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
And there's no reason for it. I don't understand why they don't just switch it to the last Friday of every October or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It doesn't need to be a
31st.
Monday, Tuesday.
Right.
Leave a comment if you are like, no, it would be insulting to these cultures if we did it differently. Okay,
it's not Day of the Dead. It's not like it's.
But I want to say
that might even rotate days. Someone tell me about Dia de Muerta.
And someone's going to be like, oh, it's pagan. Okay, just...
Yeah.
Why
it's not pagan anymore.
Halloween have to be on the 31st. Wait, it's pagan this, it has to be on the 31st. But Easter...
Right.
Which is a reincarnation of a religion's centerpiece can be on a revolving Sunday. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, because... Well, then Halloween surely...
You're right.
If Easter can rotate and that's fine, so can Halloween.
Right. If we can move around when Jesus came back to life, we can certainly move around when we can go door to door.
Certainly can.
So I saw this story in the Daily Herald.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you about it.
I put one topic on the set list that I do want to get to the show, which
after this we can get to it.
It's not related to anything nor important. I'm shocked if anyone actually cares.
I can't
about
wait
it.
till if the guys from 5 Iron watch the show and they're like, "When do you talk about golf?"
Oh, I do have a golf story. Let me tell my golf story real quick.
Okay.
So you played with intern Grant.
I did.
I played with Dry Range Heroes, graphic designer, expert.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
College hockey teammate of mine, Andrew Jesernig, at Settlers Hill in Batavia. I have not played it post renovation or somewhere to play that would let us out in the potentially inclement weather, and it was cold. I forgot how much I love that golf course, by the way. And again, I haven't seen it since the renovation.
Yeah.
And it's not wildly different. There's a par 3 that just disappeared. But I used to say that place has the best public par 3s in Chicagoland, and I still think I might believe it.
Really? You're going to make me go to St. Charles, huh?
Batavia.
Yeah. What's the difference?
It's not a convenient drive, and that's the one problem why I don't suggest it more. But I really, really enjoyed it. Even this time I played it so bad too. It was cold. I haven't swung a club in God knows how long. I played so bad. Anyway, I want to say the third hole, we hit approach shots, both of us short and on like each side short. So he's on one side of the fairway. I'm on the other side of the fairway. We're sort of just, mingling and putzing around.
Yeah.
And this like plane comes like flying over. When I say plane, I'm like, is that like a sand crane, a heron?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that shape. It was like a hawk. And so I'm like, that is a massive hawk.
Yeah.
And he's looking at it too across the way. And we're both I swear you would have been able to see the gears turning in our heads, like computing what's happening here. And I just hear him from afar. Holy shit, that's a bald eagle. So majestic. And it was.
Come on,
like
really?
25 feet overhead in Batavia, the suburb of Batavia.
Yeah.
Next to what is an old garbage dump. It's the bald eagle.
Wow.
Cruising by.
That's awesome.
And I mean,
I've never seen a bald eagle in real life.
Really?
No.
Oh, man.
If I have, I didn't realize it, but no, I don't think I feel like I would realize it if I saw one.
They are huge. Absolutely massive. And they're so, like, the coloring, everything about them is just so distinct. There's no confusing. They're like, the way the beak, hooks it's
over.
Bright yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And it, sort of circled around there and just, disappeared.
No way.
But just...
That's sick.
Just amazing. That's my golf story.
That's sick.
So 5 Iron, we are a golf show.
There you go. And I shot a 49-40 at Mount Prospect. The front 9 I played like I hadn't swung a club in 3 weeks, that I was, like I was laying on a beach or on a boat or whatever. And then I started putting one together. Yeah. Had two legitimate birdie looks. On 18, I should have birdied it for a 39 in the back. It's like a 6-footer, straight 6-foot putt. Like, should have made that.
I shot a 52-43.
Nice, yes. Yeah, Grant and I swapped 9s. I think on the front, Grant shot a 44, and on the back, I think he ended up shooting a 50 or something like that. He played well, but he had 2 holes where I think he had like a 10 on one hole and an 8 on another or something. But
that'll get you. It turns out that'll get you.
It was a great day to go out and play some golf, though. It's nice and sunny and pretty warm right before.
You're being sarcastic, right?
No, it was like 55 degrees and sunny.
What day did you guys play?
I think we played Saturday afternoon.
Oh, we played Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah, when the bottom fell out. Yeah,
it was miserable.
Yeah, no. We played Saturday at noon.
I've come to realize, and maybe you can speak to this, when we go play our cold rounds because we're so desperate to play. We always talk about, it's really just you need about 6 holes for your hands to adjust, and then they're fine.
Yeah.
The older I'm getting, the harder all of that is.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm a good enough player that I can realize I'm not going to adjust and my body's not going to do things, so I can compensate for it.
Yeah.
And just say, all right, this is going to be a 3-shot par 4. It is what it is. That's fine. But I mean, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So is that a thing? Like it gets harder and harder?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, for sure.
Swell.
For sure. I'm sure just joints, right? You're just joints.
sit there and listen to him be like, I can't fire my hips or I can't do it. I'm like, all right, that makes me feel a lot better about myself.
Have you watched any of Connor?
Little bit.
Yeah.
It's largely I just don't know they're on because I don't follow anything Blackhawks.
I had to put the Blackhawks schedule in my Google Calendar, so I know. Yeah, because I don't follow them on social media.
And we have discussed that they're on probate.
Yes.
We can support the team and show interest in the players,
Right.
but not the organization. Sorry.
Right.
And all that stuff.
Right.
They're on a probation for his entry level contract. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I established that with you. I passed it on to others. Okay.
And I really do. I've been enjoying. I missed it first of all because I do love the Blackhawks and I love watching hockey.
Yeah.
When I have some sort of vested interest, like I'll watch Edmonton and Vancouver play or something. It's fine, but it's not the Chicago Blackhawks.
It's just nice to care about hockey.
Right. And I do like watching that team. They're super young, they're fast, and they're not good just yet.
There's something sort of charming about them not being good, though, because they're not like
it's
the
not
late
tank
90s, 2000, early 2000s
right.
Blackhawks that were so bad. It's
right.
a young team who has no business being good.
Right.
So...
Right. You've got 5 guys on the roster that are 22 and younger or something.
Yeah.
Something just, they're all, that's the other thing too is funny. I started to point out when professional athletes are the same age as one of my children. And it's like, oh my God, because Justin Fields was born one day after my oldest daughter. Think about that. Like, and we put so much on these kids. Like, Bernard is another one. Like he is younger than all of my kids.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
And that makes it a lot easier to realize, God, they're stupid.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You're like, oh, well, he doesn't read defenses as well as he should. Like, I get it. There's expectations. I understand that, but he is 23 years old.
He also eats too much gummy worms. Right. He doesn't drink enough milk.
He lives on Skittles.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But so there's something about, though, like, they're not good. They're not supposed to be good. So when they do well, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
I do like Taylor Hall.
Yes.
I thought I'd come around to it. I don't care for Corey Perry being here. It's not doing anything for me.
What number is Corey Perry?
Was he wearing 94?
Is he's one of the kids?
No.
Oh no, Corey Perry's one of the
the worm.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Hey, you won a million cups with Tampa, Anaheim,
That's
whatever.
Right.
You were an absolute pest. I respect that in his game and what he's done. I'm not enjoying him, and I don't care for him. Like it's just not.
That's kind of back to the thing about like he's a placeholder. Like when you look at the roster, you're like, okay, who will be here when it matters? And he's not one of the guys that's going to matter.
It's well documented. He was brought in to be a good mentor,
right?
Liaison, what have you,
whatever you want to call it.
But
right,
it's just I'm not like. Taylor Hall, I'm like, yep, I'm enjoying what he's doing here. Okay, I see it. Corey Perry, and I'm sure he adds a ton of value. It's just not, it doesn't excite me.
And you still got Murphy on the roster.
Yeah.
Which is just funny to me. Like, he's just still there. He's getting his check.
It's probably largely like, hey, you've endured some stuff. We got you.
Yeah. And there really isn't a market for him. Like, you're not going to trade him.
He's apparently a super likable guy.
Oh, no, he's delightful.
Right.
But,
Which they need delightful in that organization.
That's true, they do.
The other hockey to follow is Shoresy Season 2.
Shoresy?
The Letterkenny spinoff.
Oh, I haven't watched a single minute of Letterkenny. We've talked about this.
Yeah, but
I know.
So Shoresy's a hockey spinoff, and it's so good.
Okay.
And it's a lot of like...
Is it like hockey funny? Like inside joke hockey jokes?
No, but if you are a hockey guy, it's even better.
Okay.
But I was reading on Reddit the other day, not in the Shoresy subreddit, in a hockey one, that men's leagues are starting to have a real problem of guys showing up like thinking Shoresy's real and the chirping and starting all the trouble. Like this isn't. It is a fictional show, and the whole it's supposed to be entertainment.
Oh my God, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, and like this is you don't have to act like this. You don't have to act like this. And that's why I also said, thank God I don't play men's league hockey anymore.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, can I ask you about this Glen Ellen story?
Let's go. It's a Glen Ellen story.
It's a Glen Ellen story. That's why it jumped out to me. All right, and then we can end the show.
No, I have one more thing.
Okay.
We got two more things.
Okay. This is Daily Herald.
Yep.
There is a family, apparently. Let me get to the lead here. Susan Woods and her husband Tyler give out candy, but that's not why the neighborhood kids line up on their front steps and down the street.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. I think I heard about this, yeah.
In their matching skeleton aprons, the husband and wife team cook and serve 350 hot dogs, all placed in buns and wrapped individually in foil for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, I heard
about it. Are you aware of this?
No, I saw something in the algorithm, right?
Okay.
It popped up, and I said to my wife, I said, do you know about it? She's like, oh, yeah, it's a big deal. I'm like, I don't know.
You grew up in Glen Ellen.
Well, they weren't doing that in my day. I think that's a newer thing.
Okay, fair.
But I don't know if...
You've never been to the hot dog house,
No,
huh?
and I don't think, unless I knew them, I don't know if I'm taking a hot dog.
Well, that was my question. Like, I guess that's cool, but it's still a hot dog. Like, is it like a Vienna beef? Is it like a hot dog? I didn't go
So
into
I could see in this freezing, miserable weather, maybe you have a roadie going, yeah, I'll take a hot dog.
Right.
And, I mean, turning the corner, Brian and Jerry are slinging hot dogs. I'm going to eat one of them. Like, I know I am. But if it's a stranger...
Is it Daily Herald worthy?
It's definitely not Daily Herald.
Yeah,
worthy.
I mean, I guess it kind of is Daily Herald because it's a Daily Herald. But.
So as I brought that up, my wife tells me this, like, oh, there's this other family. They had a table of chips, a table of candy if you wanted it, a table of like wine and beer for the adults, and they said they were going to do hot dogs, but something happened. That's why I'm like, well,
there you go. I miss the. I guess I was on the tail end of the let's drink while we trick or treat with the kids. Like that wasn't a thing when I was raising my kids.
Well, and my parents have a lot to say about. Well, I shouldn't say that's my mom. Shut up, Mom. And I get it, and I said, yeah, and I've seen like. These are the same parents that are showing up to like after school functions with their Stanley cups filled with, Pinot.
Right. Right. Oh, that's not what we're talking about here.
You're cool.
Right.
So
I
think same thing. Like you can't go trick-or-treating with your kids.
Right.
You stop at a house, they hand you a beer, okay. It's the people coming, with the...
Yeah.
They're just in one, ready to go.
Right. All right, what were your other topics?
It's been driving me nuts. You played baseball.
I did.
Key thing in baseball.
The Rangers are about to win the World Series against my adopted team, and I'm bummed about it. Sorry.
I didn't realize the series was already at this many games.
Yeah.
When you played baseball, a key component of it was stealing the other team's signs, figuring out what their signs were. Why is this?
I was very good at that, too.
I was all right at it.
I spent 2 years on the bench, so I got really good. I'm really good at stealing signs.
Why is this Jim Harbaugh University of Michigan thing a big deal? Like,
well, it's
what? Explain to me like I'm 5.
It would be a big deal if in baseball, if someone was caught stealing signs, it's a big deal. Okay,
but it's why
this would.
I don't remember that being a big deal. It means you change your because you realize the other team has your signs. You change your signs.
Of course. So that happened in like the Astros were stealing signs and hitting the garbage can for fastballs. Right.
But wasn't that a camera looking in at the catcher?
Yes.
So I feel like that's
the same
one
thing with Michigan. They had a guy with a camera sanctioned by the Michigan team, and it is like specifically illegal to do that thing.
So can I watch film?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
And see them.
The teams trade. You share film.
But I could watch a game on TV.
Correct.
Okay.
But you don't have. It's different. I mean, if you're sitting in the stands and you've got a camera pointed at the guy giving signals.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and you've got another monitor with the plays that are run after those signals. Like that's cheating. And it specifically says, the NCAA specifically outlaws exactly what they were doing.
But why? Well, okay, so what were they doing that they outlawed? Because,
they were sending...
We know when they say this, it means this.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I mean, everyone uses the same cadence for snaps and for different calls and things like that. Everyone uses the same sort of thing. But what you can't do is send a employee of the team to an opponent's game and record a sideline.
I guess. Okay, fine. I'll give you can't record. I think you should be You can send someone to scout it.
Oh, people scout all the time.
And steal signs while you're there. I get the recording part.
Right. Steal sign. If you kind of like the baseball thing, if you are good enough to sit in a dugout, sit on a sideline, watch somebody and be like, when he does nose, like we had an indicator.
Right.
Nose, shoulder, whatever. If you can figure out that indicator, God bless you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah. But
so they're sending the guy and he was recording. He would go to the games, like fly to Texas or whatever.
Right.
And, well, I'm sure,
He was doing his phone, yeah.
But, okay. All right. I just feel like, wow,
you can't do that.
Mountain, molehill, whole thing.
Well, it's all, there's something going on in Michigan. I didn't know this was going to be a college football podcast either. But something weird. I fully expect Harbaugh to be, he's going to go full Pete Carroll and just like, they're going to get sanctioned. Something's weird's going on in Michigan. Like the vibe's weird over there. And I think he's going to bounce. I think he's going to leave. I think Vegas, or somebody's going to offer him a truckload of money to come coach in the NFL, and he's finally going to do it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
the little bit that I do follow. good old Jim Harbaugh. So when my real quick, my buddy who played football at Stanford went out there on our honeymoon and went to one went to one of the games, and
I haven't had beer in a long time.
Oh, because you're busy in Bora Bora.
Right. Although Bora Bora does have their own beer, and it's really good.
Well, you would know.
Yes.
So anyway, buddy in the game like smashes his hand or something. Has a big thing, like in pro sports,
big club thing.
Yeah, a big thing of ice on his hand.
Yeah.
Talking to him after the game because where like the players and families go, and I just all of a sudden hear, Dobby, the hell did you do to your hand? It's Jim Harbaugh.
Shut up!
Like,
is it really?
Now, like me too, where our camera is maybe coming over, and it's like looking at him going, Chicago Bears number 4, Jim Harbaugh.
God,
he was
legend.
Like, he wasn't this was even like pre his Stanford rise. Like he was just brand new at Stanford during this.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck was the quarterback, but wasn't Andrew Luck yet. You know,
right. That's awesome.
It's just like I can't believe I'm just sitting here listening to Jim Harbaugh to my buddy. Like it's the weirdest thing I could have ever imagined. College football with Kris and Bill.
There we go.
Last thing.
Okay.
I finally got this for you.
Oh yes.
I don't know how exciting it is, but it's a slinger.
It's a
Slinger's 2-iron.
2-iron. Let's try to get a good shot there.
And it's I don't know anything about it really, but when I saw it, it reminded me of that goofy driving iron I played with at the preserve and hit oddly well.
Remember those dudes were like, "Are you serious right now?" Yeah.
So while it's not exactly the same, it reminded me so much of it, and I said, "Well, you need to have one too."
I do. I appreciate it.
You have one now. I've had this for
no regripping. This is gonna stay.
No. It needs it bad.
I love it. It's awesome.
So I maybe we'll hit a few balls into the 5-iron. Yeah. That's what we should do. We should play some sort of game where you can only hit this. But there's that.
Sweet, man.
All right, go to the website, check things out. Follow him at Kris McEwen. Figure it out. He's on some of the social media.
If you want to see some of the pictures and video from the trip, come see at Kris McEwen, and you'll see some of the stuff. I'm still there's so much photos and video and things. I still got to go through it all.
Are you the type? So like I don't know, this time of year, maybe have a bunch of people over for a dinner or something, and you'll be like, "Hang on, everybody, look at my slideshow."
No.
Okay, thank God.
We will do. So we traveled with another couple. They're great. They're like the perfect travel couple companions. Because there's no like obligation to do things together all the time. It's like, we're just going to go do this. We're like, great, we'll see you tomorrow, or we'll see you in 3 days, whatever.
Right.
But we did talk about getting together and just, because I'm going to put something together, because I can't help myself, and like just having a viewing, just the 4 of us to just kind of hang out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
But no, I won't force it on anyone else. If you ask, though, I may like, hey, everybody, Bill asked, we got to put it on the big TV. We can't put it on the Mac.
Sounds about right. All right. That's
right.
Kris. He's a good guy. Good to see him.
I know. I missed you, man.
Thank you for the shirts.
Yes.
And
thanks for the club.
Bill Bush, RangeHeroes.com, at Range Heroes, where all your social medias are sold.
Range Heroes 15.
Range Heroes 15, Roback.com, 50% off all first orders. Tell a friend. It's good to be back.
Thank you, 5 Iron.
Thank you, 5 Iron, so much. Love it here.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll have us back.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could have sat right there, Chicagoans.
Listen.
And stared, or you could have hit balls and just listened to us yell into microphones.
Listen, 5 Iron, we're going to get our show back in a groove. It's been a year.
That's right.
But it is the off season. Indoor shows really start kicking up.
That's right.
You want to have us back. I know you do. All right. Bye, everybody.